In this video, we discuss perfectly inelastic collision in one dimension. The topic is perfectly inelastic collision. Perfectly inelastic collision in one dimension. In inelastic collision, there is loss of kinetic energy. We have studied previously that in inelastic collision, there is loss in kinetic energy. So let a body of mass m1, let a body of mass m1 let a body of mass m1 moving with a velocity u1. Let a body of mass m1 moving with let a body of mass m1 moving with velocity u1 moving with velocity u1 collide head on collide head on to a stationary body, collide head on with another body of mass m2, with another body of mass m2 at rest. The another body which is at rest having mass m2. After collision, the two bodies moves together with a common velocity. After collision, the two bodies moves together with a common velocity v. With a common velocity v. So in elastic collision, we know that after collision, the two bodies stick together and they started moving in the same direction. The two bodies stick together and they started moving with a common velocity in the same direction. When a body having mass m1, when a body of mass m1 moving with velocity u1 collide with another body which is at rest, collide head on with another body of mass m2 which is at rest, then after collision the two bodies moves together with a common velocity v. So let there is a body A of mass m1 moving with velocity u1, and there is another body of mass m2. There is another body B of mass m2 which is at rest u2 equals to 0. Body A with mass m1 moving with velocity u1. There is another body of mass m2 which is at rest, means u2 equals to 0. So this is the situation before collision. Before collision. Then after collision, both the body stick together. After collision, both the body stick together and they started moving with a common velocity. Because in inelastic collision, the two bodies stick together and they started moving with a common velocity. Here we have supposed the common velocity is v, and this is the situation after collision. This is the situation after collision. And in inelastic collision, linear momentum is conserved. In inelastic collision, linear momentum is conserved and there is loss in kinetic energy. So from the conservation of linear momentum, from the conservation of linear momentum, from conservation of momentum, total momentum before collision must be equal to total momentum after collision. Total momentum before collision means momentum of body A plus momentum of body B. So before collision, momentum of body A is m1 u1 and momentum of body B is 0, because the momentum of body B m2 into u2 and the body B is at rest, means u2 equals to 0. And after collision, they stick together, means their mass gets combined and they started moving with a common velocity v. So m1 into u1 equals to m1 plus m2 into v, and we find the value of v. V equals to m1 upon m1 plus m2 into u1. So this is the expression for common velocity. This is the expression for common velocity, or the velocity by which both the masses moving in forward direction, and that expression is v equals to m1 upon m1 plus m2 into u1. Now, since this is an inelastic collision, and in inelastic collision there is loss in kinetic energy. So initially we find the initial kinetic energy Ki. Initial kinetic energy Ki of body A 1 by 2 m1 u1 square. So kinetic energy of body A is half m1 u1 square, and kinetic energy of body B, this is the kinetic energy of body A, and initial kinetic energy of body B is 0 because 1 by 2 m2 u2 square and u2 is 0. So total kinetic energy before collision is equals to kinetic energy of body A before collision plus kinetic energy of body B before collision. So total kinetic energy before collision is given by 1 by 2 m1 u1 square, and total kinetic energy after collision kf is given by 1 by 2 sum of the masses m1 plus m2 into v square. So this is the expression for final kinetic energy, means kinetic energy after the collision. Now we find the loss in kinetic energy. Loss in kinetic energy equals to initial kinetic energy minus final kinetic energy. And the value of initial kinetic energy is 1 by 2 m1 u1 square, and final kinetic energy is 1 by 2 m1 plus m2, 1 by 2 m1 plus m2 into v square, and then we put the value of v. So 1 by 2 m1 u1 square minus 1 by 2 m1 plus m2, and the value of v we have calculated m1 upon m1 plus m2 into u1. So v square means m1 square upon m1 plus m2 the whole square and u1 square. So m1 plus m2 one times gets cancelled, and the loss in kinetic energy is equals to 1 by 2 m1 u1 square minus 1 by 2 m1 square u1 square upon m1 plus m2. And from both the expressions 1 by 2 m1 u1 square is taken common. So we get 1 minus m1 u1, 1 minus m1 u1 square we have taken common, 1 minus m1 upon m1 plus m2, and then 1 by 2 m1 u1 square, and by taking LCM m1 plus m2 we get m1 plus m2 and minus m1. m1 gets cancelled, and the loss in kinetic energy is equals to 1 by 2 m1 m2 u1 square, 1 by 2 m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 square. So this is the loss in kinetic energy. Expression for loss in kinetic energy: 1 by 2 m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 square, and the kinetic energy is lost in the form of the kinetic energy lost is mainly in the form of heat and sound. The loss in kinetic energy or the kinetic energy is lost is mainly in the form of heat energy and sound energy. So this is the expression for loss in kinetic energy. Now we find the ratio of initial kinetic energy and final kinetic energy. So the ratio of final kinetic energy and initial kinetic energy, Kf upon Ki. The final kinetic energy is 1 by 2 m1 plus m2 into V square, and initial kinetic energy is 1 by 2 m1 into u1 square, 1 by 2 m1 into u1 square. So 1 by 2 cancelled and we get m1 plus m2 upon m1 into V square upon u1 square. V is the common velocity. Now we put the value of V. So Kf upon Ki equals to m1 plus m2 upon m1 into V square means m1 square upon m1 plus m2 the whole square into u1 square. This is the value of V square, and upon there is u1 square. So u1 square cancelled and 1 times of m1 plus m2 also gets cancelled, and here m1 gets cancelled. So we get the expression final kinetic energy Kf upon initial kinetic energy Ki is equals to m1 upon m1 plus m1. This is the ratio of final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy, and denominator of this expression must be greater than numerator, means the value of m1 upon m1 plus m2 must be less than 1, because denominator is greater than numerator and Kf is less than Ki. By cross multiplication we get Kf is less than Ki. Final kinetic energy. Thus kinetic energy after the collision is less than the kinetic energy before the collision. Thus kinetic energy after the collision is less than kinetic energy before the collision. Which proves that in inelastic collision there is loss in kinetic energy, because after collision there is loss in kinetic energy. And if the target is massive, if the target is massive, if the target is massive, target means mass m2, means if m2 is much greater than m1, m2 is much greater than m1. If the target is massive, means m2 is much greater than m1, then kf upon ki is approximately equals to 0, and this implies kf is approximately equals to 0. If the target is massive, then kf is approximately equals to 0. Hence, when a light moving body collides against, when a light moving body collides against a massive body, when a light moving body collides against a massive body, when a light moving body collides against a massive body, which is at rest, when a light moving body, means m1 is less than m2, collides with against a massive body which is at rest and stick to it, which is at rest and stick to it, then all of its kinetic energy lost. Then all of its kinetic energy is lost. Then all of its kinetic energy is lost. Means final kinetic energy is approximately 0. So when a light moving body collides against a massive body which is at rest, the massive body is at rest, and since it is inelastic collision, then both sticks together, then all of its kinetic energy gets lost.